Okay, it's been a minute since I used the calculator to do all this. So, and I'm too tired to stop and try it first. So I want to get this done. I'm just gonna do it. So if I mess up, then you'll just have to mess up with me. Okay. So the first thing I did was I went and put these pieces of information on a list and spreadsheets page. Okay. So I've got them entered. I called it X. I called it Y. Put the numbers in. Y'all know how to do that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open two more pages. I'm going to do Control Doc to get a new page. And I want a graphs page. So I'm going to do option number 2. And then I'm going to do Control Doc. And I want a calculation page. So I'm going to do option number 1. Okay. So to switch back and forth, if you have this software, then you can do just like I do, use your mouse. If not, you do Control and then left and right to change pages. Okay, so to see the scatter plot, you have to have them on. I'm going to go to my page right here. I'm going to press menu. I want to change the type of graph that I see. So I hit the menu button. I moved down to option number 3, and now I'm going to move down to scatter plot. And then what did I call that first list? I called it X. And what did I call the second list? I called it Y. And now all I should have to do is press enter. However, I have not changed my window, but I'll do that right now. So you're like, I don't see anything. Well, if you grab it and move it, you can see that there's some points right here, but I'm going to show you how you can fix that real quickly. We're going to press the menu button. We're going to go to Zoom, and we're going to go to Zoom data. So when you want it to look in your list and spreadsheets page, you go to Zoom data, and then it'll fix your window so that you can see the data. Did I do I'm going to go look at my data. Oh, 502. No wonder. That's not 502. That's 5.2. Okay, so I'm going to press enter. Now I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to do Zoom data again. And then there we go. Okay, that's what it should look like. Okay, so there's the scatter plot. That's how you do a scatter plot. You just do a list and spreadsheets page, put yours in there, give yourself a graph page. Is this the only way to do a scatter plot? Absolutely not. If you know a different way, hop to it and do it. This is just the way that I like to do it. I opened myself a graphing page. I changed the type of graph it was to a scatter plot. After I changed it to the scatter plot, it wanted to know where to find the X values, where to find the Y values. So I put it in the list that's called X and the list that's called Y. And then I did menu and I did zoom to get to data. Okay. And then once I got all that, that's where I got the scatter plot. And I believe I thought it was going to show. Oh, you can hit trace and it'll show you. Let's see. Menu trace. Let's just graph the trade. Yeah, see, it'll show you. There's the 10 and 8.7, and you use the left and right arrow keys, and it'll take you from one point to the next. Okay, so it'll take you to all the points. All right, so there, that way you can see them. Okay, so now we're going to go to the calculation page, and we're going to have it give us a regression equation, and you should know how to do this. Menu 6, it's a stat calculation, and we want a linear regression. I don't care which one of these you use. Just know that the number in front of the X is the slope. So here M is the slope, here B is the slope. Again, I don't care, either one, but you just need to know which number is the slope, which number is the y-intercept. This is the one that's generally used for statistics, so I'm going to use that one. I called my list X, I called my list Y. It's going to graph the equation for me in the first available spot, and the first available spot is the line function 1. And I'm just going to tab down then until it says okay. And it says okay. And here's the equation. There's the y-intercept. There's the slope. Okay, so if you were going to write this down, you would write y hat, don't know why that popped up, equals, the y-intercept is 12.88, 12.88 plus the slope is negative 0.38x. Okay, there's the equation. The R value is negative 0.91. The what is that? The correlation coefficient is negative 0.91. So we know that's a strong negative. STR. Oh, strong negative. Okay. And if we now go back and look at our graph page, okay, and we go to menu and graph the function, go up, there's the equation, press enter, and it graphed the function right there on top of the dots, just like we saw it do on StatCrunch. Actually, you don't really need to see that, but I wanted to show you that you could. You do, however, need it in F1, because the last thing we're going to do is we're going to have it predict some values. So let's say that we want it to predict the value, the y value, when x is 7, 12, and 20. Okay, so go to your calculation page, and since it tells you right here, if you'll look right there, it tells you that it's in F1. So all you have to do is type in F1, whoops, down here, you type in F1, and then you put, I believe you have to put it in parentheses, you put the given X value. Okay, and so it says when F1, when you plug in 7, the Y value is 10.2. Okay, so you do the same thing. You type in F1, and then you open parentheses, and this time you type in 12. Okay, and that's 8.3. And we do expect it to go down because, remember, it was a negative correlation. And then the last one, we do F1, and we type in parentheses, and we type in 20. Now, again, I'm going to say it again. The only reason that this is working is because when we did that regression, we told it to graph it on F1. So pay attention, because if you leave that on F1 and you do another regression, it's going to graph it on F2 or F3 or F4. And so if you're wanting to calculate Y values for whichever function this is, then you need to be sure you put in whatever they have right there. Will need to go what you type in and put your X values in at. And that would be, the Y value there would be 5.3. Okay, so that's how you use the calculator.